Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning. Yay.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me. I feel very honored.
This has been a real adventure so far. We spent the last 10 minutes getting ready.
Sure.
And I'm really, I'm feeling really good about this. It's still Purim. It's still Adar.
It is. Yalla, we need to keep it going.
Guys, just so you understand, we set up to meet out here on this beautiful day. And I showed up with my gear, and Deborah showed up with her gear. Mm-hmm. And that includes headgear and the beautiful flowers and just your whole atmosphere here. This is wonderful.
Yeah, you got to do it all the way.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad every time that Purim ends, and it's like, what's happening? No. Like honestly, for me, my happy place is Purim, and it's when I get to be normal. It sounds weird because for many people, it's awkward. Many people don't want to get into a custom, and they struggle with it. And Purim, and it's a very chaotic energy, but at the same time, there's so much beauty and healing, and we can really become a channel for the most amazing amount of blessings to bless each other. It's all about blessing each other.
Right.
And sometimes you might need a little help in getting to a custom and put a mask on your face, so you're not so self-conscious about being so pure and so connected, and just like let the blessings flow. It's
so interesting to you cover yourself up, but in doing that, you can actually open yourself up more.
God willing.
Yeah.
God willing. Yeah.
Well, I feel like around here that happens, you know?
Yeah.
And anyways, I saw you guys went to Chilean, beautiful, with your son. And what was that like this year? You know, it's probably a really interesting scene in general. And then this year, I feel like everyone's they just had the chance to get out, you know?
Yeah.
To finally be freed and open up.
Well, it was very different to what it was every year. Like in general, for those of you that don't know, that haven't had yet the shlichut, the merit to be in Jerusalem for Purim, is the biggest parade and festival, and there's just joy all over, and it's the most beautiful experience. God willing, you should be able, whomever you are, to be here soon and experience Purim with good health. But this year, of course, we're going through Corona, and there's a lot of restrictions. We also had a curfew. So, people were more distant. Everything was more pashut, more simple, but there was still joy in the streets. Definitely, people can help it.
Right.
The need to let's pour in a little bit. You know,
gotta let it out.
Yeah. Oh, it's starting to rain. Woo-hoo.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we're getting some rain.
So you guys spent the day there. And was there anything like that struck your mind? Something specific, something you saw that maybe was different, not necessarily having to do with Corona, or maybe someone in a really funny costume or something in a really unique costume. I mean,
you know what?
You can't really top this. I'm just saying, but yeah.
I just appreciate so much people that have the time to get into the details of the things that they put on themselves. It can be many things. Me as an artist, I'm an actress, and I've been involved with costumes and props and this my entire life.
Yeah.
So I see it from a spiritual place, from a place of prayer.
Yeah.
Coming from Judaism, and also coming from a place of appreciating the art, the beauty, the detail, and to me speaks about like self-love. Because how much are you willing to spend and invest in whatever it is that you're gonna wear?
Right.
And some people might think like it's too much. I don't want to put too much on me. Like I don't want people to look at me.
Right.
I want to be more like backstage. But I think that Dafka Purim is the time when you need to get off your comfort zone, get out of the backstage, which we do in general.
Right, that's kind of the idea.
As parents, in our jobs, whatever, we're just all the time on backstage, like making things happen for other people, so for the world to function. But on Purim, it's like, yalla, go on stage, do it, shine, like be that person that you could be, bring down that prayer.
Wow.
And
so that's like every little trinket, the extra necklace, the extra bangle on your hand, the ring, you know, the scarf or something.
Yeah,
just
the
all
details,
these little details.
Speak about like your own investment on yourself, on the prayers of what you want to bring down into the world for this coming year. For me, I see it this way. Just like we need to charge our cell phones at nighttime or whenever so we can have battery, we can use them.
God forbid we shouldn't have a battery on our cell phone.
Especially when there's when we don't have light, like it happened a few weeks here. So I see it this way.
That's right. We didn't have power.
We didn't have power. That's the word. Yeah. By the way, I learned English in Israel, and many times I made up words. Yeah. If I say something and you're like, "What did you say?"
Right.
Feel comfortable to ask me.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 fluent languages: Spanish, English, and Hebrew.
Okay.
And I speak Portuñol, which is a mix between Spanish and Portuguese.
Okay.
Because they're both Latin languages, so I can.
Right, so
understand.
You can wing it.
And also with Italians, I can do the same thing. Yeah, I can speak.
Is Italian similar to? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
It's also coming. It's a Latin.
Wow.
Language.
Of course.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
So going back to Purim, if I made up words, you let me know.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Don't worry. Where were we?
So you were saying just in general in Purim.
The prayers. Yeah. So I'm even like I tell people, if you don't know how to dress up, come to me. I help you.
That's great. Okay, now I know what to do.
No,
next
seriously,
year.
because you know what I do? I tell you, what's your prayer for this year?
Wow.
What do you want to bring down?
Wow.
In a personal level, in a collective level, for the world, for your family, whatever. Yeah. What do you really desire deep down?
Right.
And so I had one year my very good friend, Mayan, she's an artist, and she came and she told me, well, I just want to put my art out there. You know, I want to like make it happen. And I told her, so just be a canvas, like full of colors, and make yourself like this incredible artist walking around, painting people, like brushing people's dreams out. I don't know. You know what I mean? And she did. And then, and you know what? It's really powerful.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful concept name. Have you ever heard about psychomagic?
Psychomagic.
Yeah, it was created by somebody named Alejandro Jodorowsky. He's a Chilean, but he's worldwide known.
Okay.
He's worldwide known. He's Jewish, and he...
Say his last name again? Wait, just say the name again.
Alejandro Jodorowsky. You got it.
I love the hey and the H in it. I love in Spanish and Portuguese. It's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So he's an incredible man, and he creates or brings down this concept about a combination between magic and psychology. And how can you heal yourself by doing magical actions? Okay, and I can give you an example. Okay, I'll make up anything. Okay, so let's pretend that you have an issue. Tell me anything. You have a problem, and I'm gonna give you a psychomagical.
Well, I have a legit problem.
Okay, tell me.
My neck's been bothering me for like a week and a half straight.
Your knee.
Neck.
Your neck.
Yeah.
Okay. Your neck
like
is being
really
bothering.
sore.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because did you do something?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of a story, but basically one night I fell asleep on the couch. It just happens sometimes where I'm tired, I'm sitting on the couch, and then I pass out. Before I know it, it's 4 a.m. But when you fall asleep on the couch, you're really not... I don't find myself in a comfortable position, so I was kind of like sitting the wrong way, and my neck was like really hurting. Wait, it doesn't end there, though. It continues. It's crazy. Then... 2 days later, we had that snowstorm, and I get really excited about snow. I grew up in the Northeast, in Muncie, New York, and we used to get a lot of snow. And here, we rarely get snow. The last time it snowed hard was like really 6 years ago.
It's really exciting when it happens.
So after the last snow, I begged my mother the next time she comes to visit me to bring my snowboard, because it's like the one thing I didn't really bring when I made Alya, because I was like, what am I going to do with my snowboard? It never really snows there.
Yeah.
But after that first snow, I thought to myself, I really want to just, even if I can go to the Jamon or something. So it snows. We got about 2 to 5 inches. I don't know how many centimeters that is. And I got everybody up early, got them out of the house. So, because we know that snow melts quick here also. So you have to really take advantage of it.
Yeah, you got to do it.
So I go out there, I put my snowboard on, we're like sledding down. We were like sitting on and sledding. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a few runs, right? I haven't gone in 8 years. So I go down on like very, very little snow. And the second you do a turn, you hit an edge, which you're really supposed to when you're snowboarding. You're supposed to be on one edge or another. So as soon as I dug in, it hit rocks because it wasn't so deep.
Oh, wow.
And I just slammed down, cracked my neck again. So the neck's kind of been hurting since those two events. So hopefully
it was worth it. It was worth it.
It was so worth it. It was so worth
it. It was worth it.
And a great precursor to Purim because, I was comfortable with just going down and knowing that I'm falling and being okay, and everybody, we laughed together about it. And I just appreciate that. I'm like not embarrassed about that. I think it's fun, you know? It's like give it a try. Go do it like you were saying before.
100%.
Open yourself up and just...
It's like when you were a kid. I don't know in your experience, but when I was a child, I used to climb trees all the time, and I would fall down or whatever and get a scratch, and I would be like,
it's
I
like
did
a war wound.
Yeah, it's like you're proud of it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So how can we fix
I'm just gonna add something that is not real. Okay, because for the sake of this psychomagical
we don't even want it to
therapy,
take effect.
Right? It needs to, your issue in general needs to have some emotional, psychological baggage. Okay? So
well, there was. Come on, think about it. I hadn't gone in 8 years. And I was thinking to myself, am I the same guy I was 8 years ago? Can I snowboard the way I did 8 years ago?
Still do it? Yeah. But now you have the pain in your neck. So I'm just gonna add something to make up something. Okay. So you can have completely like understanding of psychomagic. Okay. So you're coming to me. You're telling me you have a pain in your neck. You have all this experience, but you also tell me that when you were a child, there was an adult figure in your life that always make you feel very rigid.
Right.
Okay. That always tell you like stand up, like sit right, like don't do that here, and that you always, when that person came and you feel the presence of that person, you feel like you needed to go like this, and then you start like developing like something in your neck,
very stiff.
And when you think about it now, the feeling of that person comes into your mind. Okay. So to heal that kind of relationship with that person, even if that person is not longer in this world, I will say to you something like, okay, so you need to go and get beautiful essential oils. Okay, go and smell all the essential oils and choose one that you really feel connected, that is smooth for you, and you're gonna mix it with coconut oil. You're gonna like put it in your neck as your wife to put it nicely on your neck, and then for a whole week you're gonna wear flowers around your neck.
Okay, like a bouquet of flowers.
Okay, and you're gonna go around once a day. You're gonna go out your house and walk around in the neighborhood with a bouquet of flowers around your neck.
And the essential oils.
Okay. Just like have this.
Okay. I mean, this sounds pretty nice as it is.
Anyway, and that's just like a teeny example of what psycho magic is. You do an action, a real action that involves this magic for the sake of healing something like trauma, or
it's a trauma mixed with a physical ailment, or just in general any trauma.
Any trauma, but in general trauma are connected with emotions and experiences and things that we need to move on, like work through, heal inside. They're very rooted, and many times it's things that we even carry from past lives, you know. So but we need to start by healing whatever we remember here from this time period. Right. If we can even try to go
as far back as we can.
Yeah.
Wow. Speaking about going far back, can you give us a little bit of your story? I mean, you grew up in Chile?
I grew up in Chile. I was born in Chile, in Santiago, the capital.
Santiago, Chile.
Santiago de Chile. It's a really beautiful city. It's a valley surrounded by the mountains, by the Andes. Huge, gorgeous mountains. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's a really beautiful place. Chile is the longest country in the world, and it looks like a chili pepper.
Is that
It
really
really
why
does.
it's not really
I'm
why
pretty
it's
sure.
called Chile? Really? Oh, it's amazing.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
the most literal
Yeah.
name for a place because it's like, oh,
I can
look.
be wrong, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's coming from there. And
Also, people are really hot and
yeah,
hot-tempered.
yeah. That's
just made
more
that
like
up.
I will say Argentinians
Okay.
are more like hot temper. Yeah, Chileans are. There's like a mixture of everything. Lots of immigrants from everywhere, and the native people, which are the Mapuches,
Mm-hmm.
the native Indians from Chile. So it's pretty colorful and diverse, I would
Right.
say. Yeah. And yeah, I was born there. I'm the sixth child of six.
the family.
Yeah,
Wow.
a family of six. But
Nice big family.
nice big family. From both my parents had different marriages and children here and there,
Right.
and then we all get together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Like a Brady Bunch.
yeah, exactly. I grew up watching that show, and yeah, thank God, I'm very close to all my brothers and my sister, and they're all really beautiful people. And yeah, I was raised what I thought to be conservative. Once I moved here, I realized that I was more like conservative, reformish.
Okay.
Yeah. But in Santiago, like at least while I grew up, there was either like Haredi, like black and white,
Mm-hmm.
or like more
Everything else.
like Chiloni, but very Zionistic and very connected to Israel and to the land. And yeah, you see the airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sky opened up
Easily-
for us.
yeah, it's gorgeous. Sun
nice.
came
It's
out.
really nice. It's warm actually. So I was very involved in the Jewish community always. I was
Yeah.
in the Jewish school in my city, and I was involved in the Jewish scout movements. I was in Maccabi Tzair my whole life. I was very active, and I was in the theater group of the Jewish
Was
theater
it like
group.
a Jewish or Yiddish type
Yeah,
theater?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly. So I was very involved in the community,
Yeah.
but at some point I got very detached. I disconnect myself from it.
Okay.
I went through like a bittersweet like season of my life with the Jewish community because I couldn't find really myself in there. Like
Sounds like it's part of the process.
yeah, it is definitely part of it.
Okay.
And then at some point, my sister introduced to me Kabbalah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and she started learning in a Kabbalah center, and I was like, "What is that?" Blah blah blah, and that's how I slowly start making my teshuvah process.
Oh, wow.
Because I really like came back into Judaism in a more strong way when I was 18, and I was the first person in my house keeping kashrut, and anyway, then I became vegetarian
And
pretty fast.
just to be clear, the Kabbalah Center isn't necessarily about those things. They teach Kabbalah,
Yeah, right.
but they're not necessarily teaching you the other things you grew up with.
Yeah,
Are they?
Yeah, exactly. No. Well, I didn't spend a lot of time in the Kabbalah Center.
Yeah.
I started there,
But it was
and
like a good catalyst, maybe,
yeah, I just started there.
awaken your
and
soul a little
it
bit.
was nice, but then I also had that feeling that it wasn't necessarily the right place for me.
Yeah.
And pretty fast, I found a different place. It's called Kabbalah Foundation.
Yeah.
That was run by this religious couple,
Mm.
a beautiful couple in Chile. That I consider them my mentors and people that I love and I respect so much, and I started studying there like every week. And
What age? How old are you at this point?
I was 19. Yeah,
Okay.
and so I started studying there like every week, different classes, and I was very active in that house.
Right.
And there was a mixture of non-Jews and Jews, but because I was Jewish, they were more focused with me, with my derech.
Right.
And the rabbi that was there, the person that ran the house, I had once a meeting with him, and he told me, you need to go to Israel, and you need to study Hasidut.
Right.
So basically, my mom is coming from the Anusim.
Okay.
You know what that is?
These are people who maybe explain.
Yeah, the anusim are the marranos, are called marranos, are coming from the times of the Inquisition.
Right.
Jewish people that had to
sort of fake
either
convert.
Convert or leave their Yiddishkeit for the sake of surviving and escaping. So for many generations, that's what happened to my mother's family, and they escaped Spain.
Wow.
Into Chile.
From the time of the Inquisition.
But they converted to
Christianity.
Right. And they become pretty active with generations. But they were always told little secrets that they passed generation to generation. Like my mom and my aunts, they tell me that their grandmother used to tell them, sometimes she will say to them, "We are really Jewish, but you can never say that out loud. Never say that out loud. But we're Jewish." And she would light candles. Like she will hide and light candles. Yeah. And every time around Pesach, they will clean the entire house.
Just for the sake
nobody said Pesach, nobody said, but they will
symbolic
clean completely the house for Pesach. And by the time of Pesach as well, all the children will get like a new pair of shoes. Which is coming from like Yom Tov and getting like a new pair of shoes, preparation for Chag. So all that was lost, but they continue to do little details.
Right.
And then my mom was the first one to feel very strongly that she has nothing to do with Christianity, or she could not connect with that. And from a very young age, she feel drawn, is the word? By Judaism. And she starts studying and researching and reading until she read Exodus, the book.
Sure.
And she told me that by now she has probably read it like 100 times. And that it became like a companionship, this book. Like she knew it by heart kind of thing. And she felt that she was one of the characters in that boat.
Right.
And pretty much her journey was always leading her to connect more to Judaism and to Jewish people and feel that very strongly inside of her.
And meanwhile, the rest of her family are all Christians.
Yeah.
And to this day, probably have a lot of Christian family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she's like the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, but they all really appreciate it anyway. Sure.
Because they understand maybe a little bit that it's their heritage.
Because they know that it's their heritage. Just that they're not necessarily connecting with it or making that step.
Sure.
And so then later on, my mother met my father, and he's Jewish, second generation of a Holocaust survivor from Poland. He's the first one, first generation being born in Chile.
Right.
His father and his mother, they escaped from Russia and from Poland.
Okay.
And
that's where your last name comes from.
Yeah, exactly.
Say it again.
Jacubovsky.
Yeah.
And
it's also the J.
The J.
It's the H and it's the J.
Yeah.
J is a Y. Okay.
And so my father is a Cohen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and although I'm trying to share with him more and more details about what that means.
Yeah.
In his essence, he really is a Cohen. He's a doctor. He saves thousands of lives, and he's so spiritual. He's so connected in his roots. He's definitely doing his Cohen thing.
Right.
In some level.
And they brought you up in a Jewish atmosphere.
Yeah, 100%.
Sioni and
very much. And my roommate, I moved into an absorption place.
Right.
Ulpanet Zion.
I was
Yerushalayim.
there. Javi and I went there. Yeah.
Awesome.
We had to sneak our way in because we were married and we didn't really finish college. And that place specifically, they want people who are young and kind of just in that mode where they're just in college or just finishing college. But I had protexia because I had played there with my band twice. And I promised them I'd bring the band back over Purim if they let us in. And they let us in. It was great.
So
we had the time of our life. What a special place.
Yeah,
I loved Ulpanet Zion. It was wonderful.
It was incredible. So you
special time.
Get it, yeah. When I moved here, I didn't know one person.
Right.
I moved all by myself without Hebrew or English.
Wow.
And my family thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
I knew how to read in Hebrew because I was in a Hebrew school.
Sure.
But I couldn't sustain any sort of conversation or anything, and forget about English either. Not. Neither. So anyway, I moved here, and it was beautiful. I met really great people. I even met rabbis there that were my teachers, and later on I worked with them, and I traveled the world with them, teaching, doing shlichut.
Oh wow, that's
with
beautiful.
them. Yeah. So
when did you do that?
So like before Corona, I was working for the Ministry of Diaspora.
Okay.
Here in Israel.
Okay.
And
they have a lot of artists go out. My friend CJ Glass, I don't know if you know him, he's also gone out and played a little bit. And like ambassadors, good ambassadors for our nation.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Yeah. It's a shame that right now it's not happening, but yeah, Israel does really good things for the diaspora like that. Yeah, definitely. So I was representing the world of arts and
give us a quick background of like how you started as an artist. You mentioned you were in theater a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm an actress, a singer, a dancer. My profession is I'm an actress. I'm also an holistic healer. I've always worked with holistic different kind of therapies. I'm a Reiki therapist. I started in the world of theater when I was around 10.
Wow.
It was my first professional play that I act in, and in a real theater. I was me and another girl. We were the only children. It was a musical, Peter Pan musical, and they needed two little girls. The rest of the cast were adults, and it was like, it was so exciting. I had a job. I was 10, and I was going to work every Thursday and every Sunday. Yeah. And it was a paid
Did you
gig.
see Peter Pan this Purim? Local?
Not this time around.
You were? We had a very special one.
We had? Who was
Dove
Peter
Hansen.
Pan? Really?
Amazing.
I didn't see. I wish I would have
it's great. I'll dig up a picture. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Go on. Sorry.
And so from ever since I had a voice.
Wow, that airplane is low.
That's very cool.
It's an army airplane.
And it's pretty.
He's going
also.
to. I know we have a base over here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like something to move a lot of material. I don't know if it's like a C-40, C-50 or something like that.
I don't know. I wish my son could see it. Pretty
and
exciting.
It flies very low. Wow.
Yeah, very low.
You can almost see the pilot.
Yeah, almost.
Another tangent. Sorry. So anyway, you were saying you were in this play, Peter Pan.
Oh yeah. So ever since I have memory or a voice, or ever since I could say what I wanted in life, I always said I want to be an actress and a singer and a dancer, and I just continue to do that.
That's beautiful.
I never stopped.
Wow.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So from the age of 10, you've been acting and singing.
No, since I could
dancing.
walk.
Right.
But my first professional play was when I was 10.
10 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. When you guys moved here, I was so excited because you bring so much color and so much character to our neighborhood and to the town in general. And I love that.
Baruch Hashem.
And it's beautiful. You chose to have your family here. Yeah. Actually, why did you guys choose Efrat?
Okay, so we were I live in Nachlaot when I first moved.
Right.
First in Urpan Etzion.
You know, your husband and I go like really far back.
I know.
We're like we're like
you guys.
a little bit before teenagers. We were in camp together.
Yeah.
And then we were teenagers together. We caused a lot of trouble. And then he went off on his own here at a very young age.
Yeah, he was very young. He was 17.
But that's a whole different story altogether. We'll get him on. We'll get him on.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I live in Nachlaot. 3 years. We lived together when we got married, and we moved right away to Beit Zayed, Moshav Beit Zayed.
Right. Beautiful
place. So beautiful.
Cool chevra.
It's a really good place. Beautiful. But it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So expensive.
Right.
Yeah. So it wasn't affordable for us.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe one day, God willing.
Right.
Yeah. Shefa.
Yeah. Bring it down.
Yeah. Bring it down.
Through the headdress.
Yeah. Bring it down.
Feathers.
Definitely. Yeah. So we went then to the old city. We lived there for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law lives there.
Yeah.
God bless her. And that was a very special experience to be in the old city.
Sure.
It was very special. And then
it's a real shlichut to live in the old city. Not everybody gets to do that. Some
huge.
people maybe for a seminary period or even just a Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
It's to be able to just be right next to the Har HaBayit.
Yeah, the parachute.
And the place is there, as you know. You're on. If you go onto the roof, you're looking onto the Har HaBayit. And you daven. It's like, okay, let's do it. Let's bring. Where's the Beit HaMikdash? Let's go.
Yeah, it's really special, and it's also not easy. Not everyone can do it.
Right.
It's fire. Jerusalem is the city of fire, and the old city is, it's very strong, but very special. And then we were looking everywhere really in Eretz Israel, like a place that would be Matim, but we really wanted to be as near as possible to Jerusalem. I feel that that's like my main bridge. Like my heart is always there anyway. So I didn't want to go too far, and we found Efrat. I heard of Efrat before. I personally never felt like very interested on coming to the Gush. I was like a little bit scared or nervous about that.
Sure.
Because if you haven't been here, it's just the way it feels. But I tell you what, ever since I moved to Efrat, I've never felt so safe.
Yeah.
From the 9 years that I live in Israel, I go to sleep and I feel safe.
That's beautiful.
And that didn't happen to me in all the different neighborhoods that I lived before in Jerusalem. Although, I mean, it's also like my own thing and my sleeping habits.
Sure.
It's not just the city. Let's keep it real.
I hear that.
But yeah, I also have my own baggage. But let's not blame it all in the cities. But but definitely,
so
I feel safe here. I feel safe.
Being safe here. Yeah.
This community, the community in Efrat is just priceless.
Yeah.
Gold is the most beautiful chesed-oriented people probably I ever met in my life. And it's heartwarming, it's overwhelming.
That's saying a lot for someone who's been traveling around the world.
Yeah. I tell you, I can say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
with
beautiful.
No doubt. Efrat people are just gold. Yeah.
And how's Hallel doing here? Does he enjoy?
Hallel is my son, and he loves it here. Yeah. He has really good friends, and the chinuch here, the education is good. Although now I'm the education,
right?
Like more or less, like right now they're in Gan again.
And you're pretty good at it.
Let's see for how long
that
we're gonna
perm
be in
video that you made was the Corona video that you made was hilarious. That was great.
Thanks.
If that's any like vision into what life is like in your home, it sounds amazing. Looks amazing.
You gotta keep it.
Keep them
funny,
engaged. Keep them
life is
interested.
Life is tragic comedy. A tragic comedy. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
So
always goes back to the theater.
And there's a lot of tragedy already.
Right.
And drama and illness and bad news, and that's what sells.
Right.
Bad news
for sure
sells a lot, and so we just gotta put more comedy into everything. And to me, that's like my therapy. If I'm not like making fun of my circumstances, then I'm going nuts.
Yeah. I especially love your mustache.
Thanks.
In that video. That
was it was my son's idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he told me, Mama, paint your face green. And I'm like, maybe not all the way, but yes, good idea.
The mustache.
Let's add a Dali mustache. So that's what I did.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I have this card here in front of me, Soul Dance, tribal, spiritual tribal dance for women. So this is something that...
Should I go to camera and show it really fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming to you.
And zooming out. Nice.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So when I moved here, I went to Meron. Like, as I told you before, my Shuba Derech was through Kabbalah. I studied in that place for 5 years.
Wow.
So, like, most of what I knew, it was Zohar and Kabbalah, and that was like my core. But I was lacking a lot on the Pshat, a lot.
Okay.
And when I moved here, I was like, okay, back off, you know, go back to
basics.
Level 0 to ground and start.
Right.
And I stopped studying Kabbalah for a long time, like I will say for 3 years or something, that I just like stay away, just to learn from zero, like a baby, language, like literally. I was learning how to speak. So I became a sponge. I was absorbing. I call myself like when I label that time of my life like the sponge.
The sponge
period of my life.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just absorbing and learning and learning how to be at peace with being quiet, because I've always been very loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on stage. I'm all about like
animated.
Sure. But when I moved here, it's not so easy to bring that out when you don't have
the way to explain
the communication, the language.
Yeah.
Especially in comedy.
Right.
I'm a comedian, and humor is. In order to be funny, you need
the same culture.
Yeah, you need to be engaged with language in a way that is a little bit higher than the norm.
Sure.
To do that, you know. I'm not talking about pantomimics. You can do that. That doesn't matter. That's the beauty of pantomimics, that you can reach anyone.
It translates to anywhere.
Yeah. But I remember like being here on the beginning of my journey and sitting around in a circle and lots of people talking in a gathering or something. And I remember my friend Beth, she's now in Australia. She once told me, Deborah, you're so sweet, whatever. But she told me later on that she used to think when she first met me that I was so sweet and so shy, so quiet, but sweet. And she's telling me that. And I was like, I'm not shy. I don't speak your language.
Right.
It was like,
Right.
But so that was a lot of my experience. Just like be at peace. Yeah.
It's humbling.
It was so humbling.
I can relate because, again, for the language thing. I don't speak 3 languages, but it's very humbling when you can't really fully express yourself. Mm-hmm. You know who you are, and you want other people to understand that. Because it's an important thing when you're communicating. You want someone to know where you're coming from when you're communicating to them. If you just kind of say something, they may not understand how much it means to you unless they really understand you.
Right, yeah.
And it's hard to do that, with very limited words. So, I can really relate to that. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then you start from the basics, and now you're learning the language. You're learning Aleph Bet, and already how to read and write it, but yeah. And so now you're like kind of forming your full package and
sorry,
and
that's
your
why,
relationship
because you were asking me about soul dance. That's how we got here.
Yeah.
Because when I moved here, it was my first year here, and I knew that on Lag Baomer I needed to go to Meron.
Meron, right?
Okay, because that's where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is buried, the kever. So I was like, I'm going there. Oh yeah, for sure. So I went there, and if you haven't been there, have you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so
absolutely.
it's just the most beyond sin. All these people jumping and dancing like mamish, like flames of fire, like up and down, and there's so much ruhaniut in movement. Mm-hmm. That's what I experienced when I was there, because I'm talking about the men's side.
Okay.
Just to explain. The men's side, they're all very compenetrated is a word? Connected, interconnected.
Okay.
Yeah. And they look like they're all one. And they're doing this movement that is non-stop, and they're repeating this nigunim.
The same nigunim.
The very same nigunim, like 2 or 3, very simple, but non-stop. And that's like really like opening all the gates. And you're like, what's happening? It's fire.
Right.
And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he's known by being this flame of fire. Like the moment that he passed, that his neshama crossed the world, he was supposed to be surrounded by this incredible fire.
Wow.
And that's the energy. And we have this
when you go there, you feel it.
You feel it.
So they're dancing. There's movement.
So I was there, and I wanted to go wild and dance and express myself and pray with my body, and in the women's side.
Right.
Okay. So I'm dancing and doing that.
Where is the women's side? I've never even seen it.
It's whether the men are not.
Okay.
Okay. Something like that. Like there's definitely a lot of women.
Yeah.
It's just that women are.
There's also
are
camps,
very quiet.
Like everyone's sort of camped around
There's tents everywhere, but besides for the family scene, the women in their tents, no, there are like hundreds of women together, standing one next to the other.
Yeah.
And it was very shocking to me to see that. God bless them. They're all like there connecting. They made it there.
Right.
It's a huge shlichut to be there, like at 4 a.m. with strollers and carrying 5 kids, while their husbands are praying and dancing and having the time of their lives.
Right.
And for me, it was like, wow, what's going on? Like women had their sidurim, and they were like very like quiet, and that's fine. If they're connecting, that's my thought. If they're like reaching that place, whatever you have to do to reach the place that you need to reach, that's fine. But I didn't feel that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I tried to go to a corner, not to bother anyone, on the women's section, and I start just like dancing and doing my thing and praying. And then these few women, they come and they start like gathering around me, and they're like, start like speaking Lashon Hara and pointing at me, and I go to them and I say like, Vemet, like really, like this is what you're choosing to do in this high night, to point at a sister and speak Lashon Hara because I'm trying to pray and connect with my body?
Right.
No,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that really inspired me deeply to create a safe, sacred place for women.
Yeah.
To express themselves with their body and to pray with movement and song in a place that is both holy, okay, and fun and empowering. So I create this dance that is named is a soul dance, and I use African rhythm.
Okay.
The music is like tupim drums.
Sure.
And I use lots of my own nigunim music that I create.
Yeah.
And it's a real workout.
What's
it's
that
very
drum
grounding.
that you play? Your drum of choice.
That's a ceremony drum.
Yeah.
From when I live in Chile, I used to be part of this the tribe of people.
Yeah.
Named Raíces del Sur. It means roots of the south. And for a long time, when I was far from Judaism, and even afterwards, when I already like came back, that was my shul. That was the place that I could like pray the most with these people. It's people that don't worship other gods. They talk about the big spirit, which is God. Mm-hmm. And it's
are they natives? These are natives?
They're both natives and people that bring back the lost heritage, to awaken all the medicine rituals of native people in South America and North America. Okay. So I was part of these people, and I learned a lot of medicine and like how to be a medicine person. Mm-hmm. And different rituals are connected to healing yourself and others, connected to earth. So they use these drums to sing, to enter this place of trance and connection and prayer.
Meditation, prayer, and it's like a very tribal thing.
Yeah.
Sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, I used to go on Sundays to a temazcal, which is a sweat lodge.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's a temazcal is a tent,
a yurt,
around tent that symbolize the uterus of the universe. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go inside and it's pitch black. You can't stand up because it's low, and everybody's sitting, and you just have this space for yourself to be sitting with yourself. And on the center of the tent there's a hole, and they bring into the tent burning hot river stones. Okay. River stones that have been on a fire for hours,
like
because
sauna.
They need to be boiling.
Right.
Yeah, it's a spiritual sauna.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So this ceremony has 4 gates. It's called temazcal, the tent, the whole ceremony. And it has 4 gates. And the whole purpose of this ceremony is to work and heal and refine your relationships in this world.
Okay.
your relationship with God, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends, and your relationship with your own heart, with your neshama.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ritual, the ceremony is divided in 4 gates. And the stones, they're called the grandmothers, the stones.
Okay.
Because they're the minerals or the nature element that is the oldest.
Right, it's
that
always
been
there.
Witnessing.
Right.
It's been here from the very beginning of the creation. So
Mm-hmm.
there's so much insight. That's
Right.
why they call them the grandmothers.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. Wow.
Something
really
like
interesting.
that.
So so now you take this is something that you really connected with, and you brought it into your like your holistic way of serving Hashem and connecting to Hashem, connecting to yourself. So that's your drum. Okay, cool. Good
That's
to know.
my drum. Yeah.
What's it called again?
It's a ceremony drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. We call it like that.
Nice. So soul dance, you have your own music, you have these rhythms, and this is a way for women to express themselves in a really safe place.
Very safe
and,
place that
and,
they can
and to
fully
make it holy.
be themselves, make it holy,
and connect with
that
Hashem.
they can be loud and they can use every cell, every part of their body, their voice.
Wow.
To activate their voices.
Right.
Because I feel that that's like such a major important thing. And in my opinion, there's a lot of misunderstanding today about what it means, a woman's voice, a kol isha.
Right.
And I don't want to get so deep into that. I don't want to be too polemic. But I do think that the voice of the Geulah, of the redemption of this world, is a feminine healing voice. And how is that ever going to happen if we don't use our voices? Not for the sake of provoking, not for the sake of creating chaos, for the sake of healing, empowering, to beautify the world. There's so much power and so much healing in a woman's voice. If they're
and you don't need to do it in Meron in the same in the men's section.
You also need
to have your space.
To use your vina, your wisdom. It's not about that. It's not about going there and making a protest. I'm a peacemaker. I'm a bad Kohen. It's not my. I don't do that. You know. It's not about that for me. To me, it's about like being like very rooted in who we are for real, and using all the skills and gifts that Hashem gave us for the sake of elevating the creation of this world and to tap into the highest fashion of ourselves.
Beautiful.
But that's what really like moved me. That experience in Meron, like I thought, wow, like especially for religious women, for women that are in the derech of God and they want to be spiritual and connect, like how do you do that without moving your body, without using your voice? To me, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
They need to be connected. They're one. So that was my motivation. And
Beautiful.
I have had like the most incredible experiences working with women. It's been so beautiful. We really create a sisterhood with the people that I work with in these circles. They're so safe and people can really be vulnerable. It's not only about dancing and the empowerment of the experience. There's a lot of itpodedut, guided. I'm guiding the entire experience through dance. But also at the end of the session, we sit and we sing and we pray while singing nigunim. And we have collective intentions, and it's really beautiful.
That sounds
like
amazing.
The transformations that I've seen in women, by just discovering that they have a body that they can use for the sake of connection.
Right.
That many times women come to me and tell me, I don't like dancing, I don't know how to dance. I'm like, shtuyot, like forget about it. This is not about doing something beautiful. This is not about like making something right, not about rhythm, not about aesthetics. This is about like letting your soul express through your body.
Little taste of Purim.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, thank God.
That sounds amazing.
And through soul dance, I was able to reach the Ministry of Diaspora because I was, there was one person in the place where I did my conversion process here in Jerusalem, that she was in charge of all the students. And later on, she hired me. She started working with the government. and she knew me, and then she brought me in
to
work with them.
That's great. It's another really beautiful thing about Ulpan Etzion in general, doing Ulpan when you come, connecting to in Merkaz Klita. It's wonderful. It's like a new family. It's like a small new family.
Yeah.
And it's
really.
Especially when you don't know the language, and you're coming on your own, and you really don't have much family, you don't have much help. It's a beautiful thing. I can't believe that's how you got there. It's wonderful. It's such a it really is. Mamash hashgacha pratit. Wow. And so you have an event coming up.
Yes, I do.
I guess next Sunday. When is that?
It's the 7th.
Yeah.
Is it Sunday, the 7th?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, it is.
So the 7th, there's this incredible woman, Naomi Journer. She contacted me and she put together this event that is happening on March 7th at 8:45 on Zoom. You can buy
a live event.
Yeah, it's a live event on Zoom, pre-recorded live event, and so it's a charity event to fundraise money for the Laniado Hospital, for the ICU unit, for newborn babies, and that they really need a lot of help right now to get the right equipment. And I think that it's pretty much an emergency in the situation. And this really kind woman went there, saw the situation with her eyes, and realized, wow, we got to do something. So she put the most incredible group of talent women to do this show, this talent show that is happening on March 7th. And I don't know if you can put a link after or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll add a link. So if you want to buy tickets to watch the show, all the money will go straight for Laniado Hospital, and that will be so incredible. What can be better than giving tzedakah and having fun and being entertained at the same time? And I'm gonna be there performing a few songs, and there's gonna be a few incredible women also there. So I really recommend for you to be a part of it and help us fundraise money for Laniado Hospital. It's going to be great.
That sounds beautiful. That sounds great. And I'm sure if you're watching this after the fact, you can probably catch it, the recorded version later on.
I hope so. Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. Deborah, we can probably talk for a good while longer.
I know.
We're running out of time here. And I just want to say, I really appreciate you sharing.
Yeah.
This is the whole point of this podcast, to kind of learn about the people who live here and a little bit about their journey. And thanks so much for coming and joining us here.
It's so fun. My pleasure.
So if you like this podcast, please subscribe and share it with your friends. We're on every podcast platform by now, and you can catch us right here on YouTube. And thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
And never judge a book by the cover. Yeah,
that's
go
right.
And connect with people. Whatever you think about somebody is probably not. So you better go and talk to them. Get to know them.
Don't forget to wear the headdress either.
Right.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Much love.
L'chaim.
Adar Sameach.